In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the background story of my journey to school, even without any help or money from anywhere.
You don't have to ask me anything. Federal police is not easy.
Go to your wife.
It is not easy. School no hard. Are you calling again?
Thank you so much. Guys,
congratulations, Senator. Congratulations.
Thank you.
5 years over. It's not easy.
Thank you so much.
This is nice too.
I want to write on your board. I know it's today you wear this fine. No more 7:30 class.
No more. The lecturer dey on top bike. They come now. Even me, self. I am thanking God I'm no longer under you again.
I'm no longer a constraint.
Our international constraint.
I'm no longer.
This is a very emotional story, and I don't think I can share it without breaking down. So I decided to share it as a background story. If you're just clicking on this video for the first time, my name is Grace and I am a content creator that is based in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. This is not my first attempt to being a graduate or going to school. As a matter of fact, I was formerly in UNIZEC. Immediately after my secondary school, I got admission and I started going to school. But life happened. I'm not going to be boring you with all of that. And I came back home. I had to restart another JAMB. And guys, the same year that I got admission, the same date that I was supposed to go back to school was the day that my dad got stroke. So that's my bag that I packed. I had to pack them to the village to look after my father because he got the stroke on his way to the village. I don't know how that happened. My dad actually encouraged me to go, but I couldn't go because I could not see my dad. It was as if he was just sleeping away. I decided to sacrifice that year. I decided to sacrifice my time, all the money that I had already saved to return back to school. And I took another JAMB. I must also say that God ordered my footstep because even though I got admission and I was eager to go, I was already, prepared to go back to school. My mind kept telling me I should go and buy another JAMB form. I told my sister. My sister was like, sis, you know exactly how your spirit works or the spirit of God leads you. Buy another JAMB form. So I bought another JAMB form even though I was to go to school. And when my dad got sick that 2016 January and I was writing JAMB that same year, I remember that this was the reason why God just wanted me to write another JAMB. And when I wrote that JAMB, imagine something I've been praying for many years. That same year, I and 2 of my sisters got admission. But the cocoa was not even in getting admission. I mean, our only source of hope at that moment was just my dad. My mom was a housewife. We didn't have much. And imagine 3 girls at the same time going to school. At least my sisters, they were saving their money. They had already saved for years. All the money I saved, I used it for my dad. And I used it for the whole family. So when they left, I was the only one that was left alone in the house. But then I read a portion of our open heaven, and it was talking about great faith. Coincidentally too, the Bible study outline that we had for that same Sunday was also talking about great faith. And one thing that I found out from there was They were saying that if you truly have faith, then it should show in your action. It means that you're sure that this will happen. You don't have to wait. You just take an action. Because of that, I prayed in my spirit and I told God, I'm taking this action. I'm taking the step of faith to go to school, although I didn't have any money. That same Sunday, I went to my pastor and I told him I'm leaving for school the next day. I had only 15,000 naira. I came home and I told my dad I was going to school. One of the reasons that made me to leave was I kept seeing my dad. His health was deteriorating. I mean, it was hell for me. And where I was working, I was being paid 6,000 naira. There was no means of survival and all of that. I just told myself, instead of working like that, it was just better for me to take the step and run away from the house, run away from seeing my dad undergoing such pains. I took that step of faith. I came down to Owerri. That was my first time of coming down. I had no means of paying my school fees. My acceptance fee as at that moment should be around 15,000 naira or 25,000 naira. I cannot really remember. My school fees to my house rent, there was no means. I had no house. I mean, guys, I don't know how to explain it, but the guy that I begged to kind of get me somewhere I would stay was just saying another thing when I came. I mean, he was telling me I should stay with him and his roommates. The room was big enough, and seeing how his hand was already trying to touch me, I knew that that would not be the best place for me. So I met another girl who was a friend to one of my sisters. She agreed, but her roommate just like that said I would never stay. I kept crying. In fact, on the day of our matriculation, I was inside the room. I kept crying and all of that. But I'm here to say that God did it. I don't know how. I remembered after my ND1, during my ND2, God just told me to go and meet one lady in the church. I was very much skeptical about going to meet her. But after several warnings and after several uneasiness, I had to go meet her. I told her I did not know why God said I should come and meet her. I just explained to her. I did not tell her anything personal, just told her my name and all of that. She said no problem. She told me her name and I'm like, okay, are you married? She was like, no, that she's not married. I thought in my deepest part of her heart that God actually wanted to for me to intercede for her since she was comfortable enough and she was old enough to marry. But I never knew that God was connecting me to my destiny helper. That lady was instrumental to my finishing my ND2, my projects, my feeding. She kept on giving me things. Guys, for my 1 year IT, God used my pastor for me. My HND, I was working. After some time, I left the work. Then I stumbled on YouTube, started my YouTube channel and all of that. I'm here to say that I not only sponsored myself, but God provided me destiny helpers. And then I took care of my family. My sisters, the two of them, they are in school. God has also helped me to be a blessing to them. God has helped me to uphold my family all these years. God, I don't know how to explain it, but the same girl that came with just 15,000 naira and no hope of getting anything anywhere, God kept her. God did not allow me to be on the street like one woman speculated when I opened up to her. That was my first and last time of opening up to anybody. She was like, no, poly girls, all of them are ashawo, all of them are prostitutes, blah, blah, blah. Why did you leave your job? I just zipped up and I never opened up to anybody. But God did it for me. God did not allow me to be on the street. God kept me. God provided for me. And this is me saying, I don't know the kind of thing that you're hoping on God for. I don't know the step or maybe how big the project is that you're thinking you will not finish it. If only you can believe in God, the same God that did it for me would do it for you. Then for others who are thinking maybe Their family is not comfortable enough for them to go to school. They cannot really acquire skills that they needed to acquire. I'm here to tell you that that's not an excuse. I did it. My two sisters did it. One thing that have kept me appreciating God all the time was how even my two sisters, how their spiritual life grew, how they were able to get matured within those years. They were my biggest worries because I thought that it will not work. But look at us. I mean, God made them to even be so strong. God has also provided for them in ways I could not explain. There are days that they will call me and they're like, sis, this. I'll tell them, okay, God will either provide for me to provide for you, or God will give you that miracle. God will touch the heart of someone. I will be praying. Just tell me anytime God answers the prayers. And you see, in less than 1 week, they'll call, sis, this one happened. Maybe my church, this one. Maybe one mommy in the church, this one, and all of that. And yes, this my celebration is actually in triple, because this same year, those my two sisters, they will graduate. One is reading law, the other one is reading chemical engineering. I'm here to say, God, thank you. I'm here to also encourage many others. One of these days, I will share my story. But for now, it is too emotional for me. One of these days, I will share everything that happened, even in my first attempt in Unizik, how I was able to come back to square zero. But trust me, my father was there. Anybody who knows me know that I'm a very smart student. So it wasn't a matter of lack of intelligence or whatsoever. It was just life. But I thank God. I return all the glory to God, because you know what? This builds my faith. This is like something or an experience I share with people, and they're like, you're strong. This is something that I would like to say is a gift that God has given to me to use to encourage other people. So I am very much happy about it. And seeing how people were signing for me, seeing the jubilation and all of that, it brought tears to my heart. It made me to know that of a truth, God does not leave his own. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, share and subscribe to my channel.
These are the photo clips from day 1 to day 4.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna